the Lions go 12-4, I'm sending this tape into ESPN.
Welcome to Trask, baby. We don't win in the specific years that I want us to win. Let's go! Let's go! I was big on them and so was Chandler. Because he's not the better player. Watch them play football.
Oh my God! You watched the highlights? Did you watch Johnny Manziel's highlights when he? Whoa, guys! Look at me! I'm gonna go throw the ball.
If Stidham outperforms Newton, Stidham's gonna start. That's all you have. How are you gonna win the division with that? How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the Nosebleeds podcast. We're back here finally with the long-awaited episode, the Patriots off-season predictions episode. We all have an off-season plan for the Patriots made out for you, and we're going to present our plans. And after everybody presents theirs, we can go over them and kind of critique a little bit, comment on them, stuff like that. And then next week, when free agency actually starts, we'll be coming at you with some more episodes kind of recapping what's going on around the NFL. But for now, my name is Nick Antonakis. I'm here with Chandler Betts and Stuart Brooks for the first time in a while. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
All right, cool. So we will not waste any time. Oh, dang. So we're not going to waste any time. I will present my plan first, and then Stuart will go. Chandler wants to go last. Yeah. He's in his suit because Chandler is a sweat at these kind of things.
Absolutely.
So without further ado, we will start. I'm just going to go in the order of I'll have free agency first and then the draft afterwards. I only did the first 2 rounds of the draft.
Yikes. All right.
You don't have to do draft.
You don't have to do the draft. I only did the first 2 rounds. Yeah. I didn't draft anybody defensive either. Spoiler alert. So anyway, here we go. So starting with the Patriots, before we do anything, well, as of yesterday when I did this, we have $55 million in cap space. Chandler told us before we started filming today that we actually got another $11 million. 19. So we go up to 66.
It's 19, but then that's for every single player. So to make a very long story short, there's this thing called the rule of 51. So that means that only the first 51 people are counted in the original cap for what you have to actually hit. Then you have everybody else. So that's why the second number is a little bit smaller. But yeah, everything changed. So we are filming this on March 10th. Everything changed at literally 10 a.m. today. All the numbers.
Hopefully we'll have this out by tomorrow. So yeah, March 11th, you'll hopefully be seeing this.
Forgive us for being a little bit wrong.
When is the league New Year starts on the 17th, right?
Yeah, 17th.
Yeah. Okay, so that's when free agency starts and all the trades that have been agreed to actually happen.
Yep, and the draft is 50 days away.
It's the end of April, right?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I just went by it that we have $55 million. So now that extra cap that we got is just going to go towards just having extra cap space at the end. So it doesn't really matter because I wanted to have some extra cap space anyway for draft picks and stuff like that. So now without further ado, I'm starting off with who the Patriots will cut in my plan. First off, the first cut that I have is Marcus Cannon. Marcus Cannon will be going bye-bye. That'll save us $7 million. I also have us cutting Brandon Bolden. That'll save us another $1.5 million. Matt Lacoste, that'll save us $1.3 million. And then Brandon King will save us another $1.1 million. So I'm only cutting 4 players, but I do have some players later on the roster that we would cut in place of draft picks that I didn't do. So after that, our cap space, starting from $55 million, will go up to $65.9 million. So then we move to the resigning phase. We started with some of the Patriots free agents that we have on the team right now, and I went through and re-signed some of them. So starting with James White, I got him to accept an offer because we did this website with negotiations and stuff. So I got him to accept an offer for $2 million a year for 2 years, 80% guaranteed. So James White will be staying with us for another 2 years. I got John Simon to accept an offer for $1.1 million, 1 year, 50% guaranteed. Lawrence Guy, I got to accept an offer, $2 million for 1 year, 50% guaranteed. Adam Butler got another offer, $2.5 million a year for 2 years, 50% guaranteed. I brought back Nick Folk for $1.1 million 1 year. I gave him 100% guaranteed on that. And then the most difficult free agent signing was David Andrews. who I finally got to come back because we're going to lose Snooney. There's no way he's going to come back unless we want to pay him $16 million or something like that. So I gave him $5 million a year for 3 years with 100% guaranteed. And then so some of the players to let go, I didn't do all of them, but some notable ones that won't be coming back. Joe Thuney, that's probably the biggest one. Cam Newton, another big one. Brian Hoyer, Marcus Cannon, who we cut. And then Jason McCourty, which is another notable one. But I offered him a contract. It was like $1.2 million for a year, and he declined it. So I was just like, screw you. I'm not going anymore. Anyway, then I went to the cap space having $52.2 million left. So now we move to the free agency signings from around the league. So this is where you can kind of see where my plan starts to take place for the Patriots, what I'm hoping happens. And with these signings, you may be able to predict some draft picks that are coming in. So first off, I have the Patriots, even though this might not seem as likely anymore because in the past couple of days, some news about this player came out. I have a signing Ryan Fitzpatrick to a 1-year, $8 million contract. There have been rumors circulating that he's going to retire.
That has come out, but also it's seeming less and less likely over the last 2 days that he will retire. Seems like he's very heavily linked with the Broncos right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Patriots swoop him.
I know.
$8 million for a year. Then we move into some bigger signings. I have the Patriots bringing in Will Fuller because I don't think we're going to get Kenny Golladay because we have Matt Patricia, and he hates Matt Patricia's guts. So I had us going for the second best bet because Allen Robinson was tagged the other day. So I have us going for Will Fuller and it's an expensive contract too. 4 years, $18.5 million per year. So we finally bring in a number one wide receiver. Hopefully Fuller would impress us a little bit there, especially after he's making that much money. But I did get him for that deal finally. But then for tight ends, I brought in Jonnu Smith from the Tennessee Titans on a 2-year, $10 million per year deal to kind of bolster that tight end position. And then I also brought in, even though actually today I was kind of thinking about this, it seems a lot less likely now because I actually thought about it, but I have us bringing in Malcolm Butler, who was recently cut by the Tennessee Titans on a 1-year, $2 million deal. Kind of forgot about the whole falling out thing he had with Bill Belichick, so I doubt he's ever going to come back here. But maybe if he doesn't have anywhere to play and we give him like $1 million or $2 million or something, he'll come back for a year or so. So I have him coming back to kind of fill in at our cornerback 4 spot off Jason McCourty leaving. And then finally, I have the Patriots signing Bud Dupree, a defensive lineman, on a 1-year, $11 million contract.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be very.
I would love that shit.
It would be great. So after that,
isn't he injured though?
He should be fine by next year.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
So
So then after that, we have $2.7 million remaining in cap space, but that's obviously before what Chandler said, like the rollover cap or whatever the hell that is. Then we move into our draft picks. I only did the first 2 rounds of the draft. So based off this plan, you would think that, I want to go quarterback first round, and I really do want the Patriots to go quarterback first round. But in this scenario, I could just not bring myself to see Bill Belichick even attempting to trade up in the draft. So in the first round with pick 15, I had us keeping pick 15, and we were going to pick Kyle Pitts out of Florida. So I have the Patriots going with Kyle Pitts in the first round, but we are not surrendering the quarterback train yet in the draft, as I have the Patriots going for a little bit of a reach in round 2 at pick 46. Pick 46. I have us taking Kyle Trask out of Florida as well. And I mean, I will go into that a little bit just because I've been doing a lot of reading about him. He's similar to Mac Jones, which kind of intrigues me because I would want Mac Jones, except we're not really in a position to get him. So he has good form. He has, all that stuff that was sure the thing when he's throwing, he like picks up his foot or whatever. But before in the regular season, he was solid. He was actually really well. He played really well. But then in the Cotton Bowl, he kind of blew his
You didn't have
draft
anybody
value.
playing.
Yeah,
Grimes, Tony, Pitts, all of his weapons that he threw to all year had opted out for that game. So I didn't put any factoring into that when I was scouting him.
yeah. So I'm hoping that at this point, we got to get a quarterback. I tried trading up. Nobody would accept any of my deals that I did. I tried trading up to like the beginning of the second round and maybe swoop Mac Jones, but he kept going earlier. So
yeah, Mac's going top 8. Probably.
Yeah. Or no, Mac Jones, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, I wasn't going to say this until my thing. Kyle Pitts is very likely not going to be there at 15. I'd be surprised if
I did see. I redid the mock draft 3 times, and he fell to me every time. So I took him.
Yeah, I like to use a couple different sites just to check what people are saying. I'd be surprised if he passes 10. But we'll see how I deal with that.
Yeah, it's looking like the Bengals, they might get him, right?
Maybe. I think that he goes.
Or the Eagles.
I think he goes to the Eagles personally.
Damn.
I think they're stupid enough to draft another.
So anyway, even if the Patriots didn't get Kyle Pitts, I have us taking Jalen Waddle instead if Kyle Pitts was somehow not available.
I think that's actually realistic.
Yeah, I hope
so hopefully, and then in the later rounds, I want the Patriots to go wide receiver, safety, cornerback, defensive lineman, and offensive lineman. In no particular order, but those would be the 5 other picks that we would have. Then we move to the depth chart, just to kind of get an overall look at the team. So at quarterback, we have Fitzpatrick and Trask, and then I just kept Stidham on there because why not? Then we have at running back, Damian Harris, James White, Sony Michel, J.J. Taylor. Wide receiver, Will Fuller, Julian Edelman, Jacoby Myers, Nikhil Harry, who hopefully will be traded now that he's getting trade interest for some reason.
Yeah.
Gunnar Olszewski, and then Marquise Lee. And then at tight ends, I have Jonnu Smith, Kyle Pitts, Devin Asiasi, Dalton Keene, and Ryan Izzo. And it's likely that probably 1 or 2 of those guys will be cut for draft picks because 5 tight ends is kind of excessive unless you wanted to drop like Keene to the practice squad or something.
Expect us to hold 3.
Yeah. Then at fullback, Jakob Johnson and Dan Vital, or Vital, I don't know how to say it, but he was cool, whatever. Then offensive line, David Andrews, Onwenu, Brown, Wynn, Mason, Cajuste, is that how you say it?
Cajuste.
Cunningham and Heron. And then on the defensive line, Dupree, Guy, Simon, Butler, Allen, Spence, Cowart. Then at linebacker, this is where I kind of changed around the positions a little bit. At linebacker, I have Chase Winovich moving back to the linebacker position where he should be.
Do you have a switching to a 4-3? Probably not, actually. Never mind.
No, we're keeping the 4-3. Or 3-4, sorry. Donta Hightower, Kyle Duggar is going to move up to linebacker. Josh Uche also up there. And then on the bench, Anthony Jennings, Cash Maluia, and Juwan Bentley. And then in the cornerback position, Stephon Gilmore, cornerback run 1. I tried to trade him to the Browns, but it was just too complicated to kind of get out, so I just kept him on the team. Will actually be a very solid defense if we keep him. So then J.C. Jackson, Jonathan Jones, Malcolm Butler, and then Williams and Michael Jackson on the bench. Then for safeties, I have Devin McCourty, Patrick Chung, and Adrian Phillips. Kicker, Nick Folk. Punter, Jake Bailey. And then on the special teams, Slater and Cardona. And that is my plan.
Let's go.
So if you guys want to reflect on the plan at all before we move into stewards, that's fine. If you would rather do it all at the end, like whatever you want to do.
Stuart, I can go if you want some more time.
I'm almost done. I just need to sign.
Okay,
I did it once, but I didn't realize that some of these players would sign for less than I thought.
Yeah,
so actually,
I inflated them a little bit.
I'm just gonna skip the rest. I'm basically done.
All right. What do I have to say? I probably have some stuff to say.
I don't think that.
Two fullbacks. Why do we have 2 fullbacks?
Yeah, I cut one of them in mind. But wait, I have one thing to say, but I can't.
I'd probably cut Jakob Johnson.
I don't. Bud Dupree is gonna get a fucking huge contract.
It's gonna be
somebody.
Yeah.
I really hope we get him.
How much did you have him going for?
1 year, $11 million, 100%.
No way. He's getting.
How old is he?
27, I think.
27?
He's gonna get 3 years.
You ready? Let me look at the
from
free
Arizona.
agency thing that I saw. It's
the only thing that's holding him back is the injury. But he's 28.
Yeah, 28.
He's 28. So he's probably got
going to
3 or
get
4 good
15,
years.
16 mil.
16. He's going to get 3
Wow.
years, 47 from.
Dude, edge rusher
Well,
money
hey,
is
this works
wild.
out with the extra cap space that we could get.
That's
we
true.
could throw another
Yeah.
$3 million.
It's a little buffer. It's a little.
Well,
buffer.
I had another
Awesome
defensive
going
player
on.
that I wanted us to sign.
I
Oh,
didn't
nice.
did
I'm
I
excited
sign
to hear about it.
relevant
For less.
I signed a couple.
And then wait, what do you think about Will Fuller?
He's good enough that I think he can actually go somewhere with a good quarterback. That's the thing.
Yeah,
He's going to get paid wherever. He's a very good wide receiver. I can't believe that, he's really good, and they had him and Hopkins, and now they're both going to be gone. That's just fucking sad. I mean, that's a really, really good tandem of wide receivers looking back on it. I think Fuller kept getting injured, but he was really healthy last year, apart from the steroids thing.
Yeah.
He was a top 10 receiver in football last year when he was healthy.
Yeah, he's great.
And I think, Green Bay seems to be and New York Jets seem to be the two teams that people are linking him to. He's going to get paid. How old is he? He's like
26.
Yeah, he's young. He's got good years. He can play.
Nick, how many wide
quarterbacks?
How many wide receivers do I have? Let's count.
Not including Slater, obviously.
How do you
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
How do you get the depth chart?
I just wrote it out.
I just wrote it out.
I'm not doing that shit.
You don't have to do it.
Don't even worry. Did you
so
ever consider?
I can just do Control F also.
Did you consider cutting Edelman? I know that's been in.
No.
Oh, come on. Can we just do? All right, we can do mine now.
Okay, let's go.
But wait, and just one more thing before we move on. A good point Stuart made about the Packers being the front runner. The projected deal I was looking at, the Packers were going to offer him 4 years for $17.5 million. So I outbid them going for 18.5.
Yeah, well, maybe it just depends on how much he cares about.
But again, that's Rodgers versus no name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
all right. Okay.
All right,
so,
Stuart, it's your time.
All right. You want me to start with the cuts here?
Go for it.
All right. So just like I had a lot of similar cuts. I cut Cannon, obviously. I don't know how much money these things are saving, but I cut Cannon. I cut Edelman. I don't think he has any value. I'm not sure if why would we keep him? He might not ever play a football game again. No offense to my dude, but come on.
Yeah.
Useless. And then I cut Brandon Bolden. He's
1.4.
He's been a good special teams guy, but we have a lot of good special teams guy. He's like 34 years old. So I cut Lacoste and Ryan Izzo. We have those other two young tight ends.
2.3 roughly.
I don't see why we'd keep either of them. I cut whatever his name is, Dan Vitale.
Yeah, 1.2.
We don't need 2 fullbacks. And then I cut Stidham because he sucks and we don't need him.
700,000.
So there's probably some that I'm missing that I didn't cut, but yeah, that's what I cut. And then
the only difference you had for me was Brandon King.
Brandon King, he's a safety, right?
Or I think he's a linebacker.
Linebacker, but he also plays safety.
All right, well,
he's 1.4 million, not 1.1.
All right, well, that probably would have been a good trade. But all right, and then for re-signing, I re-signed James White for 2 years, $3 million. I re-signed Andrews. I only got him for $3,750,000. I don't know, 3.7.
Wow.
Yeah, I gave him 3 years. So, but he's only like
he wouldn't take mine.
Yeah, well, maybe I give him more.
I overpaid compared to
guaranteed money. I think he's going to demand more than that, though. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, I also hiked mine up a little bit.
I re-signed John Simon, $1.5 million. That seems reasonable. I re-signed Adam Butler, 2.5. I re-signed Nick Folk for 1 year, but $4 million because he's a really good kicker. And then I re-signed Lawrence Guy. And yeah, that's. Oh yeah, and I re-signed Marcus Cannon after I cut him, but for 1.5 million. I was thinking of doing that too. For 1 point, I think he's still good enough to be a starter, and we might lose some depth. So 1.5, I don't know how much he's making, 7, so that's good. And then for the signings, so for a quarterback, I signed Trubisky for $9.5 million for 2 years. I was looking through, for a while I was on the Jameis train, but I recently watched that video of the interceptions. And given the fact that he had a good offense, we saw that this team just won a Super Bowl with a similar system. So I know that they took Tom Brady. I know it's different, but there's no way you can tell me that Byron Leftwich. This was a good staff. It must have been, and they had great talent, good O-line. So he just threw 30 interceptions. Are you serious? I mean, a lot of those throws. I used to think they were like, oh, deep balls. He threw a pick at the end of the game. No. He threw some horrible passes. Like he had about 8 interceptions that made me question so much about I can't believe this dude was the first pick in 2015. So I don't know. I like him, Jameis. I hope he's good, but I don't know. I was on him, but now I'm off him. So Trubisky, Trubisky's decent. He's not great, but he can play, he can move. And if he can move, he's going to give us what Cam gave us on the ground mostly, and he can throw better. So yeah, I hope so. And then I signed. I wanted to go young. I signed Corey. I didn't look for the great. I didn't go for Galladay or Fuller. I signed Corey Davis. He's only 26. I also signed him in Madden as well for $9 million. I go for more than that, but I think it was. I gave him 3 years because he's younger. And so tight end, I signed Gerald Everett. He's the free agent from the Rams. He's probably gonna be moving on. So I got him for $6.4 million. And then I only signed one defensive player. Now I look at this, but linebacker is an issue. I think we have some good players, but no stars. So I actually signed Hassan Reddick, who I think is pretty good. He's probably, again, I think he might go for more than this, but I had $9.3 million. But he
seems roughly in the ballpark.
Yeah, I think he's like really good, and I think he would be a good fit in the Belichick system, and that would really help the linebacker core a lot. Because I think we have a decent line, we have a good secondary. Get a linebacker in there, you can play pass coverage, he can rush. That's a specialty, pass rush. And then I cut Edelman, so I need another receiver. So I just took a flyer on John Ross for $2 million.
Yeah.
And then and then I re-signed Cannon. So that was it. And I'm not reading this whole depth chart because it's not in order, but yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back on this, I probably would have cut either Michael Jackson or Miles Bryant. We don't need both of them. But so draft. Yeah, I know. Like Nick said, I hope they draft an offensive player. I hope they draft a quarterback. I mean, I don't think Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and obviously Trevor Lawrence are all going to go probably top 5. Fields might go like 7 or 8. I've been seeing him falling a little bit. And then now Mac Jones, top 10. So Trey Lance is the toss-up. Again, I've been seeing more stuff about Jimmy G, so I'm starting to think San Francisco looks like it could be an option for him. So the chances of a quarterback falling to 15, they're possible, but I don't think they're super high. So I think if any of those guys are available, they'll pick them, and I think they should. But
I would hope.
Yeah, but
come on, Bill,
it seemed realistic a few months ago, but I mean, it's unlikely, but I have been seeing Smith falling a lot. If he was to somehow fall to 15, I mean, I've seen him mock drafts at 17 for Oakland. If he was to somehow go that far, I would take him there, or Jalen Waddle, or Kyle Pitts. But if not, then I'm not really sure. And then the Micah Parsons thing, which was, he seemed like a potential pick, but then he's had some character issues. Yeah, generally speaking, I hope they draft.
He's gonna fall because of those character issues.
Yeah, he's gonna go like 28 or something. But
maybe he falls to 15. I don't know. We might be picking him there.
I hope we don't, because that's the thing. There's defensive talent in this year's free agency pool, so I don't think we drafted so many young linebackers last year.
Yeah, our defense is pretty good. We don't need to go full. Just fill some holes.
I really hope we don't draft them.
I hope they draft some defensive line talent. I mean, our guys aren't they're good enough, Butler and Guy and all them, John Simon. But it would be good to get one young guy in there, get him going. Early. I don't really know any of the prospects or anything, but I hope they go defensive line if they're going to go defense at all in the draft. We don't really need secondary. Please do not draft a hybrid safety linebacker. Please. We draft every season. Maybe a quarterback, but I'm not sure about Kyle Trask. I don't know. And maybe a running back, questionable. Maybe if late.
Reportedly, we have interest in James Conner.
Oh God.
No thanks.
Please don't.
He didn't even look that good. The Steelers have a good O-line. He did not look that good last year.
Yeah.
So he's like 27, so I'd rather not. These running backs have such a short shelf life.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Plus, Harris is our guy.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and Michelle and Burkhead. Would I resign Burkhead? No, I didn't. And then
me neither.
James White too. That's a solid enough tandem.
Yeah, I offered Burkhead 1 year, $950,000. He declined it, so I said, "No, you're not."
I think he could get 1.5.
He tore his ACL though.
Yeah, but he's having a best career season. He's like 31 too. I don't know.
I think he's pretty much done.
He might retire. Yeah.
That's why I'll do you a favor. I'll give you $950,000 to come back for 1 year. And he was like, "No." So I'm like, "All right, bye."
Okay.
All right. Yeah, me and Stewart's plan is very similar, except he went Mitch, and he didn't go as big on wide receiver as I did. But overall, a good plan.
I just don't think it's really realistic unless we get a good quarterback.
See, that's what I was saying.
Why would Kenny Galladay or Will Fuller want to play with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Mitch Trubisky?
Agreed.
There's many teams right now that are really good because of because of Tampa Bay hogging 3 receivers. Has become a slight issue.
EB is going to go back there for like $1 million.
Some of these teams need some receivers. Packers, even maybe the Browns, if because Odell, that whole situation is not looking good. I'm just cycling through it. Even maybe Buffalo, honestly, they just cut John Brown today.
Yeah,
he's getting older. They could grab another one. Maybe not quite. I had him signed, but Corey Davis I think would be good there. Because he's kind of a bigger guy. But yeah, there's a lot of these teams that could use their second or even any wide receivers. How about the Cardinals? They have Hopkins, but they don't have anybody else really. So, just generally,
especially with Fitzgerald gone.
Yeah,
he's not. Is he gone?
Yeah, he retired.
Officially?
Fitzgerald? No, he did not yet.
No, he hasn't.
It was like he was expected to, but I don't think he has.
He hasn't yet. No.
Really?
I mean, I think he could still play.
He's still got at least another year.
I hope he goes somewhere and wins a.
Why would he leave?
He's a Cardinals.
Why would he leave Arizona after playing there for 16
I don't know,
seasons?
man.
He's a lifer.
Or just go back for one more year. You could get it this year. Your defense has been bolstered with JJ Watt.
They're not gonna get a ring, but they're gonna be a very good team. I'm very excited to watch that team this year.
Yeah, I actually had.
That's what they all say.
But the NFC is weak as shit. I did not know who to pick for the 7th seed. I was like, is Atlanta?
Oh my gosh,
I know. Playoffs. I was checking. One of these teams is going to have a good free agency, but it's like you got the 4 division winners, and then who? It's just like but
it's just
probably Seattle and the Rams, but that leaves up 2 open spots. So
I'm sure we'll talk about Seattle a lot in our next episode.
Yeah. I just don't think it's super realistic for us to get one of those really good wide receivers without us pulling a trade for Deshaun Watson or moving up for Mac Jones or something. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll kick it to our final analyst here. We have Chandler Betts in his suit and tie.
All right.
Take it away, Chandler.
All right.
You did the whole draft, right?
I did the whole draft. I did all players. I built an entire 55-man squad. I did a lot. And I kid you not when I say I have done this over and over again at least 8 times. So
wow. For all of our 25 viewers out there. This is for you.
I dedicate this all to you. So all right. I'll start with the players that I'm cutting. So I will be cutting Jared Stidham, saving $700,000. Brandon Bolden, saving $1.5 million. Dan Vitale, saving $1.2 million. Marcus Cannon, saving $7 million. Ryan Izzo, saving $850,000. Matt Lacoste, saving $1.3 million. Devin Smith, who I've legitimately never heard of, saving $850,000. Bo Allen, who I really did.
Yeah, I thought about
saving $2 million.
He didn't play a snap this year, did he?
I don't remember.
No, he was injured. Akeem Spence, saving $2 million as well. Marquise Lee, who opted out this year, saving around $700,000. Michael Barnett, saving $780,000. Bill Murray, who I recently found out we have a guy named Bill Murray on our team, saving $660,000. Nick Thurman, saving $780,000. And Brandon King, saving $1.4 million. So that cleared up a lot of space. I'm not going to do the numbers because I kind of did it back and forth, going based on the players that I wanted to sign. So for re-signing, I'll be offering J.C. Jackson his first-round tender in the restricted free agency that will amount to a 1-year, $4.766 million contract, $4,766,000.
He's gonna fucking hold out.
Yeah, I hope not.
Honestly, he might. That's pretty low for a guy who just made an all-pro team. We know that he may not be that good, but I'm sure he has a high sense of self-worth after that season. So
yeah, I don't expect him to hold out after that, just because it's a 1-year prove-it deal when when no teams have money. So that's actually a pretty good situation for him to make a lot of money next year.
That's true.
So then my first big signing, David Andrews will be coming back on a 4-year, $30 million contract. So that's $7.5 million a year.
Oh.
I
think that's good. He's a good center.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's going to fall in between Stewart's and Chandler's.
Yeah,
so
I based it off of the general market for a center, and that seems about right, especially considering that the salary cap went down 6% this year. So yeah, 7.5 is pretty fair for what I saw of him. I re-signed Jacob Johnson for 1 year, $750,000 to be the fullback. He was getting better at the end of the year. I think he's very recently picked up football coming from Germany, and he made a lot of improvements in the blocking game towards the end of the year. I re-signed James Ferentz to a 1 year, $825,000 contract. Depth center, need one. We saw last year with Tooney having to play center. Tooney not being here, we're gonna need somebody there. I re-signed Adam Butler to a 2-year, $5 million contract. That's 2.5 a year. Lawrence Guy, 2-year, $6 million, 3 a year. And my last re-signing, John Simon, 2-year, $4 million. So those are my re-signings. And then I also did some trades. So I did 3 trades. I'll go from least, the last 2 are kind of interchangeable in terms of importance, but I'll go from least important first to show you how frequently I do change this. my first trade is Nikhil Harry, who today at probably four today, like a couple hours ago, was announced that
3 or
he
4
is receiving a lot of trade interest apparently somehow.
for some reason.
Yeah. I was looking at all the teams that could take him. I was thinking of teams that have to have money because he's on the first round rookie contract, which I believe I could look it up. I'm not even gonna say I believe.
It's like $3 million, right?
I think it's 2.7.
It's 2.754.
Yeah.
But you know how much of that we save? A whopping $71,969. Absolutely nothing, but it's worth it to get him off the team because I dislike him a lot. And I figured we could get a 5th round pick for him. So I was looking at all the teams. It's a compensatory pick from the Jaguars. So the Jaguars will receive Nikhil Harry, and the Patriots will receive pick 171 in this year's draft. I think that's a pretty fair trade for both teams because
I'll do it any day.
there's not a whole lot of jump ball receivers in this draft, and Trevor Lawrence loves his jump ball receivers. So if Urban Meyer's smart, he's going to try to get him a big guy.
Right, they have deep threats and stuff.
I don't think Galladay's going to want to go there. So Nikhil Harry is.
They offer like $24 million a year.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
So then,
if only Nikhil Harry was talented, though.
God, I think he is talented. I just don't think he's ever going to be able to figure out
He's a specimen. He's huge. He's got good measurables. But
athletic freak, but
he just can't seem to put it together. His hands aren't good. He keeps getting freaking holding penalties every game, and he's like feuding with his trainer is like feuding with Cam Newton. So
yeah. All right. So I have 2 more trades. Pick a number 1 to 2. Which one do you want to see first? 1 or 2?
2.
2. All right. So the 2 pick is one that Nick was vaguely talking about. It's between the Browns and the Patriots. I do have us trading Stephon Gilmore. I see it as just being inevitable. I don't think we're going to be able to keep him. And I was also, you'll understand why I did this based on the next trade. So it's actually a good choice to do this one.
I'll miss him.
So I have us receiving pick 59 and pick 132. That's a 2 and a 4 in this year's draft for Stephon Gilmore.
That's good value.
I think that's pretty. It's actually
that's not bad.
That's a good trade for both teams.
I think that's a really good trade for both teams.
I think that should happen. I hope it happens.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty fair. That saves us. Stephon Gilmore getting out of that contract saves us $7.3 million.
Oh.
And
it's a good trade for Cleveland too.
It's a great trade for Cleveland
because first of all, they have a lot of money, so a fair amount of money to spend, so they don't need to worry about putting draft picks on their roster.
Imagine Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, and Stephon Gilmore in the.
They can absorb that salary. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the Browns are good. You know, I kind of like them.
All they need is a couple defensive players. Also,
and we get a 2nd round pick, which is going to be very important based on this next trade. So I was looking at the quarterback situation. I knew that I needed to get something. So you guys know that I do a lot of watching. I scout a lot. I have fully scouted. The first player that I fully scouted was Kyle Trask. I was really considering taking him. I expect him to fall to the 3rd round, actually, based on Kellen Mond probably jumping him. He is kind of like Mac Jones in terms that he had a lot of production, but he's a very what people call an aggressive processor, which is like Jameis is an aggressive processor. That's a good example, actually. He doesn't throw as many picks as Jameis because he has a much more accurate arm, but he makes a lot of just why did you throw that ball decisions. When he makes the right decision, it's quick and it's a really good ball. If you can get him out of that, I make mistakes.
It's a project.
Help me. Then, yeah, and he's a project without tools, which is why I don't really like him because he's not fast. He's not especially tall. He doesn't have great pocket presence.
He's just like Fat Trubisky.
I'm not the one who said it. So
he's kind of like Brady, except less like not as smart and
less smart.
He's like he has Brady's mobility, except at 24 years old,
and he's like mentally deficient.
Yeah, kind of. So I was looking at it, and again, I've done a lot of mock drafts. I expect in the first 4 picks, I expect 3 quarterbacks to be off the board, most likely.
Yeah,
and then
I think Justin Fields is going to Atlanta.
Yeah, actually, no. Let me retract that. Actually, I'm not sure if he's going to Atlanta. I will say for sure, off the first 6 picks, you'll have 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence and
somebody there. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and then
too,
Fields. And then I was like, okay, so you got Mac Jones and you got Trey Lance there as my next 2. Personally, I'm still not 100% sold on Mac Jones. As much as people want to say he's going to be great, I am not sold. I do expect him more and more likely to go above Trey Lance in the draft, which means he might fall towards like 12. But I wasn't going to take that chance. I made a trade with a team with a new head coach, a team that has like negative weapons this year. I made a trade with the Lions. So I have a formula, not a formula that I made. It's called Draft Pick Calculator. It shows you how much value each pick has in an average draft. And this trade that I made gives the Lions a lot more value than we receive, but I think that it's fair. You'll see. You can make a judgment. So I have us receiving pick 7, and then I have us sending pick 15, pick 46, which is our second round pick, and a 2022 second to the Lions. Now I do that because they won't have Marvin Jones Jr. next year. They won't have Kenny Golladay next year. They have their team. I challenge you guys to name 10 players in the Lions next year. I consider myself a very big
free
football.
agent, right?
Yeah, he's going to free agency. I think I'll resign.
They also just cut Trufant. Yeah,
Everyone's
they got
gone.
Collins is leaving.
Yeah, they got Okuda. Jeez, their team is horrible. How does this happen
so
every
bad.
season?
So that's why I
Chase
say
Daniel, is he the backup there right now?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, and
I think
teams
so.
want him out of there. They're
DeAndre
asking for a trade
Swift is
offer.
there.
Hawkinson, they have.
Oh yeah, DeAndre Swift is still there.
Yep, Goff, obviously.
Peterson. Oh yeah, Goff. Peterson's probably on his way out.
Yep. I actually cannot name 10 players in that team. I consider myself someone who watches a lot of football. So that's why
who's their running back?
DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson.
Swift.
Kerryon Johnson. Yeah. He's
but
probably
he's
going to
also
get
always
traded.
injured.
Yeah, he's always injured.
Yeah. So I think that they just need players, and I think that this is a new regime. The last regime, I really expected them to trade out of pick 3 last year, and they couldn't get it done because Bob Quinn is incompetent. That's just been well established. I'm not. That's not me being mean. Yes, it is me being mean. He's terrible. He's terrible at his job, and that's why he got fired. So I expect the Lions to trade back, and I think that we're going to overpay a little bit. And with pick 7, I'll say who we pick later. But I will move on to our free agent signings, and I didn't do that many. Mine are kind of similar to Nick's though. So my first signing will be Ryan Fitzpatrick for 1 year, $7 million, not 8. I got him for a little bit less. I think that he's going to choose us over Denver if we offer him a contract, just because of the whole Drew Lock thing. And
Harvard, let's go.
Bring him back. AFC East.
Yeah. AFC East dynasty quarterback.
So happy that he has always been my quarterback.
Are you really gonna have
every
Fitzpatrick?
8th time I
I
did it.
can't believe we're
I
gonna
kind
do
of
this.
like him. I mean, he'll be a good bridge if we draft.
He threw
Trask.
6 interceptions in a single game once.
Yeah, but he's been on top of his game since 2018.
He's had terrible.
He's had terrible games recently. He's
had terrible teams. If you look at what he did with
he's not good.
How many weapons did he have?
The Patriots aren't much better to be.
He sucks. I don't want to be
completely honest.
I think Fitzmagic could be a quarterback to bring us to the playoffs next year.
Oh please!
Whoa!
Look at So how good are we saying Tua? How good are we saying Tua is? Do we think that Fitzmagic could have won all the games Tua played? Right? We think that.
Fitzpatrick should have been playing over Tua. Yeah,
but the Dolphins all the games that Tua won. They were
would have lost theirs.
We do.
No offensive linemen. They had Isaiah Ford pass catching for a while. Parker was injured for part of the year. Gesicki was good. I will totally give them that. But they had no offensive line. They have a very bad running back room. He was covering so many wounds in that team. And I think that because we have a really good offensive line. He's never had a good offensive line, really. When he was with Tampa, they had a pretty bad offensive line that year. Then that's when they started to fix it. Buffalo, that was just so many years ago.
I'm just looking at his things here. All right, let's see. Okay, that first year he was on the Rams, Bengals. He was on the Bills for a while. He had some high volume years there. Tennessee first season, 14-12. He was decent in Houston. He had that great year on the Jets. If you can remember, when they beat us in overtime. Matthew Slater was like, "Oh, we want to kick." For some reason.
No!
Oh yeah.
Cost us home court advantage. But he almost threw for 4,000 yards. He had 31 touchdowns. He did throw 15 picks. Then the year after that, this is the year with the 6 interceptions. All right, whatever. The Jets, not great, whatever. But this motherfucker threw 6 interceptions against the Chiefs. He threw 4 in the last 8 minutes. I mean, it's probably the worst game, one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then he was on Tampa for a couple of years. He started off super hot.
So hot.
He was like 8 touchdowns in 1 pick, but then after that he cooled off. Was
Arians. Was Arians the coach, or was that still?
I think it was still Dirk Cutter.
Yeah.
I think he was like 8. Then after that, he was like 8 touchdowns and 10 picks. So he regressed to Cam. Then last season, or 2 seasons ago in Miami, he was pretty solid despite the horrible start that they had. And then last year he was up and down.
Also,
say.
I mean, if we're looking at these
He's
two
good.
Miami teams, the
Plus,
offensive.
I'm not
coordinator-
even looking for this dude to play all 16 games. I just want him to play like 8 and then Trask to take over. At least in my plan.
We'll see. But yeah, let's move
Anyway,
on.
Chandler, continue.
I think
Can we please know? I mean, at least Chandler has fucking. We're gonna pick a quarterback, probably Trey Lance. I don't want us to have to deal with Fitzpatrick, and then we got Kyle Trask coming in. We've already had enough abuse with Cam. Can't we just sign a decent quarterback? Can't we just sign Trubisky, please? The only
Do you
good
think
quarterback.
Trubisky's decent?
I
He's
think-
not.
He's
think
better
there's
than
gonna be a lot
any
of money.
quarterback. He's better than fucking Fitzpatrick. Definitely.
I don't
It's gonna
think
be
so.
money. I think he's
Definitely better. He's way
Trubisky-
more mobile.
Anyway, all right, just
Trubisky
continue.
Trubisky had what? Trubisky was 16. He's never had a negative interception ratio. in his
Trubisky is
career.
a notorious disappointment to the world. That's
He's
what he's
better
known
than
for.
Trask is ever gonna be. He's better
Oh,
than
that's
Trask.
brutal.
Wow, you
Trask
think so?
Sucks.
I do. I definitely
Wow.
think so.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, there's a reason why
That's
third round
harsh.
quarterbacks don't usually pan out.
Well, I hope we
mean,
draft Kyle Trask and he wins us a Super Bowl.
I hope
He's-
so too, but I hope we don't draft him.
But there's something to be said why late round quarterbacks don't often pan out that well. I mean,
Yeah, what
we've
happened
seen
to
it-
the last third round quarterback that Nick was really high on? Was he a third?
Stidham was a 4th rounder, but
Yeah, I mean, let's just think like
I get
you
your
know,
reference.
like all these quarterbacks, like they don't do anything when they're drafted late. Usually, they just kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this year has a stacked quarterback class. So I
But
mean,
think of
They
but
have
it's still
five
third
in
round
a
pick.
future draft, in a different draft, I would say Kyle Trask could go late 1st round.
I do not think so. I think
Huge
if
mistake.
that draft consists of Paxton Lynch, then maybe.
Damn.
But also, quick point: if you're going to draft a quarterback not in the 1st round who you want to be a project, look at Jamie Newman, Wake Forest. He transferred to Georgia, but then opted out based on the COVID year. He is a very, very project player. So, but yeah, look at that. And then moving on, I forget which one of you had Gerald Everett, but I also signed Gerald.
I had
Everett.
him. Yeah.
4 years, $20 million. So that's $5 a year. I signed somebody
like
to help the linebacker core, somebody that I think is going to be a really big steal in free agency. Anthony Walker Jr. from the Colts, 4 years, $14 million for me.
I hope
that I signed off the edge, just a depth edge player, Samson Ibukam, 3 years, $8 million. I think that was a very good deal. And now we have 3 big signings right here. I will be signing Corey Davis.
Yeah.
I think Stewart did. Yeah. 4 years, $42 million. So that's 10.5.
10.5. Yeah.
And then I didn't think I was going to have this much money, but I did. So I spent on 2 more big players. Curtis Samuel, 4 years, $44 million. That's 11 a year.
Ooh,
I
man,
think that
forgot.
he is
I'd love to have
perfect.
both of them.
Yeah.
Perfect Belichick player.
That would be great. 2 young receivers coming in, locked
Yeah,
up for years.
Curtis
We already
Samuel,
have
I believe,
Myers, who I think is a
25,
good player.
Davis
So
is 26.
All
And then,
right.
again, this is just showing you how much I've edited this. Kyle Van Noy will be coming back on a 2-year, $22 million contract, so another $11 million. And that
Really?
Wow.
Didn't he wasn't his annual salary on the
12
Dolphins $10 million?
10.
Well, it was 12.
I thought it was three for 30. Or am I thinking of
It was
Amanda Roberts?
That's somebody else.
Or
It
is that
was,
Jamie Collins?
It
Wow.
was
I thought it
four-
was 3 for 30.
4 for 50 something. I want to say. Let me look it up.
I think
I thought it was
think
10 million because the Dolphins saved 10 million in cap space.
Oh, but that means that they probably signed him for more. But
It was 4 year, $51 million.
whoa, wow.
Wow,
But
that's
it was-
overpaid.
It was actually structured. I found out later.
I mean, what happened to him? Did he play bad or like
He
why'd they
wasn't.
cut-
He didn't play up to standard, and I think that they can. I think they
But
think
they-
that they can get that position at a
They
lower
can-
value.
Yeah, they want Van Ginkel or whatever his name is to do that job. They actually
Yeah.
structured the contract in a way that they had a 1 year out really easily. So that's why they saved most of the money, because it seems like they always intended to.
If he's coming back, Cam isn't.
Yeah,
After
good.
their beef.
Good.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
in the
then
game. Yeah,
Now
yeah.
to the
Good.
draft. So not many of these names will mean anything to anyone, but you have to trust me that these are all very good players.
Well, the
I'm
first
happy
one is
with all of
important.
them.
Yeah.
With the 7th pick, we will be draft Trey Lance, quarterback out of North Dakota State.
I hope they pick him.
It is I don't want to say it's a risky one, but it is a tough hill to die on for Trey Lance, considering that he never played an FBS school.
Wait, if he goes 7, then where do the other quarterbacks go?
I think that so this is just me being overly
yeah.
careful. I
First
think
2.
that 1, 2. I still do think 4 for Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
And then I think somebody jumps up to 6 with the Eagles, or maybe up to 5 after. I think that
Cincinnati's
the
top 5, yeah.
somebody jumps up to 5 to get a quarterback there. So 7 just guarantees us a quarterback, or if a quarterback if all 5 are somehow taken in the top 6, then you basically get Jamar Chase, which would be so good.
Wait, I have a question. Who
Yes.
are you having going 5? Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He is getting slurped on by draft scouts.
Who do you think he'd get trade? Who would trade up for him? You think?
Washington.
That's the thing with this year's draft.
Like
nobody knows who's gonna go where. That's the thing.
Yeah. It's gonna be like another 3 weeks.
Would Cincinnati though? Cincinnati wants valued players.
They want to tackle. And
but do they trade all the way back?
I saw them taking Pitts in a lot of drafts too.
Do they want to trade?
I think they have to go tackle.
Do they want to trade all the way back though to 18? Isn't that where Washington is picking?
Yeah, but if you get 18 and then because they know that they're at 18, if they want one of the quarterbacks, I'm sure. Because as much as I liked Heineke for that one game.
No, I'm thinking for Cincinnati.
I'm thinking that the Bengals are going to very much overpay. I think they're going to go at least 2 firsts and a valuable player, probably a second also. They go 1-1-2 and then another guy. And then if I'm the Bengals, my number one option has to be tackle because you have Joe Burrow. Please don't let him.
Who would be available around 18?
Joe Thuney.
They're probably going to sign him, yeah.
Yeah. In the draft, sorry.
But in the draft, Christian
are there tackles around?
Tucker. There are a lot of tackles in that 15 to 32 range.
Okay,
probably like 3 or 4.
If that's true, then I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's a good fit. Also, you have young receivers. Yeah, I think that's a good fit. So if he goes 5, that's 4 quarterbacks taken in the first 5 picks.
Yeah, it's a quarterback-driven league.
And then 6, I don't think. Yeah, I guess
they're definitely not going quarterback.
Eagles
if they do, I will never let Donis hear the end of it.
I don't think it's impossible, but I don't think it's likely.
They did say that they want to Laurie did say they want to operate as if Hurts is the guy.
Okay.
But that means absolutely nothing inside that organization.
Who would they go for then? I mean, it would be Pitts or
probably
Chase or
Smith, I would imagine. Or Waddle is my wide receiver 2, but Smith is most people's wide receiver 2.
Yeah. Wait, then are you just gonna say Jamar Chase goes 3 to Miami?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If he doesn't. Because a lot of people are trying to say that Penei Sewell isn't very good.
Oh no, okay.
A lot of people are saying that he's not good now. I don't get it.
I saw him as high as 2 a couple months ago. I don't think.
I think he's excellent, but a lot of people are saying that he's not good anymore. And because he opted out, he definitely does have some tape flaws. I'd noticed those when I was watching Justin Herbert stuff last year. But it's all very uncertain. The whole opting out thing, we have no idea how that's going to factor into where people are going to get drafted.
Right.
I think Trey Lance might actually fall, possibly to 15.
Well, he didn't even opt out. The whole program was.
I know exactly. They played one game and he didn't look great.
Yeah, he looked like shit.
He didn't look terrible. He just ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And that's actually a good segue into me talking a little bit more about Trey Lance. The whole scheme that he's running is. It's not like a red flag because he was a redshirt freshman. You can't expect the 7 straight time national champions to let a redshirt freshman throw the ball 40 times. But also, he was throwing the ball maybe 15 times a game. Each throw looked really good. Don't get me wrong. I think that he's definitely a project player. If he sits a year behind a Fitzpatrick, who's, by all accounts, from all we've seen, a very knowledgeable quarterback. Especially having bounced around so many different systems, he can pick anything up really quickly. I think
taught Jameis well.
Mentor. Yeah, he did. And I mean, he did.
No.
You can't teach
Jameis.
You can't teach Jameis.
Yeah, I guess that's more.
Yeah, from everything that we've seen, he knows what he's doing in terms of showing a quarterback, and he's willing, which is the most important thing. Because a lot of people they're going to say, I don't want to sign here because I know I'm not going to be the quarterback long term. But whatever. Trey Lance has great mechanics. He's mobile. He's more than mobile, actually. He's an excellent runner. Player comparison, better armed Cam Newton. That's what I'm going to say. Not as strong, maybe, but way more accurate.
Worst version of Kyler.
That's what scares me. That's the only thing. I didn't like the scrambling quarterback system at all with the Patriots.
The scrambling portion of Cam's game wasn't the flaw. It was the passing part. He did run for 12 touchdowns?
No, but see, that turned into us not throwing it at all.
That was because he couldn't throw the ball.
Not
because
he didn't want
Josh
to.
wasn't willing.
we ran the ball in the appropriate situations inside the 20, and it was usually a very effective attack.
Yeah.
It was just that by the goal line, that dude was almost an automatic touchdown every time. That's pretty much the only thing
against the Seahawks.
That's the only thing I'll give him credit for. Basically, the entire season is in the red zone. He was a very effective runner. So that's the thing. I mean, I know that that's not super important, but like when he leaves and we get another quarterback, let's say it's Fitzpatrick. Yeah, Fitzpatrick. Basically, any quarterback he can sign will be a better passer than Cam.
Basically,
but we're losing that red zone ability when he leaves.
And we keep that with Trey Lance, and especially because he has the potential to be an excellent quarterback in the NFL.
What if
possibly? Yeah, go.
What if he doesn't? What if we don't trade up? Do you think Detroit will take him?
If we don't trade up, so next quarterback class is also going to be strong. I really don't want to wait until next year because that's just kicking the can down the road, which is why I put such a premium on trading up. But if he falls, I would expect us to actually take Jamie Newman in the 3rd round with pick 96.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, where do you think Detroit would take it, Trey Lance? Or do you think it would be Carolina?
Wouldn't be surprised. It's a special. So why I think Belichick's the perfect coach to have Trey Lance is because he has basically 100% job security. Trey Lance could be a very bad quarterback. He could also be an incredibly good quarterback, like perennial all-pro quarterback. He could be really good.
This league's getting too talented.
He could be really bad, though.
Yeah.
And then if he's really bad, if you're Dan Campbell and you're the new Lions,
coach,
you don't want to rest your entire tenure on a completely unknown commodity.
And you have Jared Goff issue already too. So.
Yeah, great.
And their roster's terrible. At least with Trey Lance, like even if he's not good, we can still win football games. They might just lose. If he sucks, they're gonna go 2-14, 2-15.
Basically, yeah. So that's what I have going on in the 7th with the 7th pick, and then I'll just quickly go through everything else. A little summary. With pick 59, I have us going Javon Holland. So 59 is the one that I got from the Browns. I have us going Javon Holland. He's a defensive back out of Oregon. He is going to be our, at least on the depth chart, our Gilmore replacement. He can play all aspects. He actually opted out this year, so that's why he's falling a little bit. But he's very talented. I think that he's going to be a good pick there.
Drafting the opted out player seems like a Belichick thing to do.
For sure. I think that's going to happen for I have it happening one more time in mind. Or one more, yeah. And then with pick 96, our first compensatory pick, the highest compensatory pick in the draft, we got for Tom Brady. I have us drafting one of my favorite players in this draft, Seth Williams, wide receiver out of Auburn. He is so much better than Nikhil Harry. He's a big body guy, jump ball. He reminds me of Kenny Golladay. Obviously, I'm not going to compare him to Kenny Golladay because he's so good, but he could develop into a wide receiver 1. Seth Williams could be an excellent player in this league. Number 120, I have us going Dylan Moses, linebacker out of Alabama. I'm not huge on him. He's actually the guy this is just for Nick and Stewart, the video that Donna sent into the chat of the linebacker who just couldn't run. That was this guy, Dylan Moses. So
God.
I'm attributing that to because he had an ACL tear his junior year and he was out for the entire year. With everything that was super uncertain in the world, I'm just going to say that he wasn't as comfortable with his body as he needs to be. I think that his freshman and sophomore year tape is really good. He was considered to be basically what Micah Parsons is right now.
Belichick can feed him Subway.
He reminds me a lot of Hightower. He reminds me a lot of Hightower, both Alabama products. And
I guess Hightower was going to play. I thought he was going to retire.
Yeah, I know.
He's back.
I'm cool with it. He's still good.
We sprung on that a little bit. Really.
He gets injured. He gets injured a lot though. So
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. So, but yeah, Dylan Moses.
That would be great to have him back.
132. I was drafting another. He didn't really opt out, but the whole Pac-12 is. They only played like 5 games. It's a mess. But I have us drafting Jay Tufele, defensive tackle out of USC. He's just a good player. He was probably going to be a 2nd-round pick if USC had a little bit more certainty. He is a redshirt sophomore right now, so he's very young. Jay Tufele, I think that he's pretty good. I think it would be great to pick him. And then going on to 140, I have maybe the most Belichick pick out of this whole thing. Ellison Smith, edge rusher out of Northern Iowa. I have watched 2 games of his. One was against North Dakota State, and that just happened to be. I didn't know anything about him until I was watching for Trey Lance, and this guy could be really good. He's 6'7", 275, and that's coming from
That's giant for a
240,
football player.
240 during the year. And
Wait, what position does he play?
he's
I'm
an
just
edge
looking at
rusher.
this.
I think he's
Yeah, there was some.
at least,
There been,
unless that's Charles Snowden. Ellison Smith. I believe he's a massive guy regardless of his height. He's either 6'4" or 6'7". But
is this the guy who? Wait a minute. Which one's
Crazy
is,
build.
is he the redshirt freshman? I mean sophomore. Or is that the one before this?
I don't exactly know what you're talking about.
You said that somebody was young.
That was the guy before, Jay Tefele. He's a redshirt sophomore.
So what? He's like 20.
Yeah, I think he's 21.
Yeah, because I was just looking up who's the youngest. There've been a couple 19-year-olds who played the NFL. So,
yeah.
Which I don't know.
So Ellison Smith is 6'6.5", and he played this season or last season at 250 basically. Now he's 275, and he hasn't lost any speed from what I saw in the Senior Bowl.
He's been.
And this guy,
he's on a hella steroids.
I mean, it's very possible. He was killing people. So it was very interesting to be able to see
we
him.
can't draft Hernandez again, dude.
Oh no!
Bad choice of words. He was dominating a very good tackle out of this draft called Dylan Radins for North Dakota State. It's very interesting when you watch two players go against each other that are going to be NFL players. Like this year, you have Rashaan Slater. He's very high in the draft. He's a left tackle out of Northwestern. And he is being pretty much single-handedly propelled by his tape against Chase Young, which was very good.
I saw that, yeah.
Chase Young, who is, we know how good he is.
Yeah, NFL posted that, didn't he?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, Ellison Smith had great tape against Dylan Radins, and from what I've seen, he's high motor. He's just willing to do everything on the field, and even when he gets double blocked, which happens a pretty good amount because he's very good, he still can deflect the ball. Looks like a really good player. Not to talk too much about him, but that's a very Belichick pick to draft an FCS guy who is just a toolsy player. Then moving on to pick 159, I was drafting the guy with the greatest name I've ever seen, Deomador Lenore, the cornerback out of Oregon. I think I pronounced that right. He was just the best cornerback on the board. I needed to draft somebody else because Javon Holland will probably play some kind of safety corner hybrid, like a nickel guy, kind of like Duggar, but it was a value pick there also. So he slips a little bit in my eyes just because of the whole Pac-12 uncertainty. Moving on to the next pick, I have us drafting. Wow. I have us at 171. Picking Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver out of Western Michigan. He is a slot player, really pretty small. He's 5'9", but he's really fast.
5'9"?
Man,
Damn,
Edelman
that's
2.0.
tiny.
not that small.
That is small for 5'9".
Edelman's 5'9" too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 5'6", so he's only 3 inches taller than me. That's
You're not getting into the NFL.
NFL bound, guys.
I think I'm 5'11", but we'll just add. I'll just pretend that I'm 6 feet. But
let's go.
5'9". Well, he's a really. Wait a minute.
Stuart towering over this guy.
I mean to bring this into this, but is he white? What's his name?
Okay. Dwayne Eskridge.
Let's see, Belichick. He needs his 5'9" white receiver.
That's true. But this guy's just really fast. Not like blazing fast, but like he is a great route runner.
He's the fourth iteration of the short receiver drafted in the 7th round.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh. And then pick 197. I just needed another wide receiver. I drafted Warren Jackson, wide receiver out of Colorado.
You're gonna draft, dude. We're gonna have so many wide receivers on the depth chart.
3 wide receivers.
I had us cutting a good
Yeah,
amount.
he cut a lot, and he traded.
Yeah, I cut a lot of players. I have us roster 8 this year.
So that's a lot.
That's not that many.
That's kind of high for the Patriots. 8.
I looked up what an average team holds, and they said between 7 and 8.
Okay, that seems like a lot.
I have 6.
I don't even know how many. Let me think about this for a second.
199. I have us drafting our James White replacement, Javon Hawkins, running back out of Louisville. He also.
You don't have us resigning James White
I don't know.
I think we'll get more than what we mean.
I don't think that he's going to want to resign. First off.
I think he's going to Green Bay. Why? I think he has a connection here.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. He seems like a little guy. Does he though? He already won 2 Super Bowls, 3 actually. Well, one of them barely counted. Yeah, he was on the practice squad for the Seattle one, but he's won enough. He can just kick back and hang out in Foxborough and
chilling in Green Bay.
Just fumble the shit out of the ball all season probably.
basically, yeah.
It's not that bad.
No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Hawkins,
He didn't
I
play
think
that much
that
this
it's
year,
good.
but
Yeah.
He's another redshirt sophomore who opted out. He was actually the American Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year last year in 2019. Then he opted out, so he's falling a lot. Don't really know why he decided to go into the draft. If he went back,
he'd be an incoming junior then still.
next year. Yeah, he would be coming, I guess, into the pros as a junior theoretically.
Whoa, he's young.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
I
He gotta
think
be
he's
20.
19 right
19
now.
pushing 20. Dang.
Hold
He'll
on.
probably be 20 by the start of the season, but
How old is
Mr.
he?
Relevant will be Nick
I
Antonakis.
won't even say.
Wasn't Ryan Suckup Mr. Relevant?
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the only. Yeah.
Yeah, and then with our last pick 241, I was
What the
drafted-
heck? How do we get so many picks? Oh, you already know
I know.
Belichick's about to trade down.
Probably.
Taylor
yeah.
went all out for this.
He's going
Tough
to trade
call.
down the fourth round pick to like 3 6th round picks or some shit.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough Borland, linebacker out of Ohio State.
His name's what?
Tough TUF. That's his name. Another
His
word.
name is Tough?
Yeah.
Hey,
I love
last
it.
year at the end of the draft, we drafted Cash Malawi. We always have to have
True.
an interesting.
Another
I think we
linebacker.
should just cut him.
Yeah, Tough.
shut
He's
He's useless.
just decent. He's kind of just there.
He's not bad.
Uh,
Special teamer.
and Tough will also be a special teamer. Not bad.
Belichick's all about them
Somebody
special
who can
teams.
run. He's a
That's tough.
Ohio
Tough.
State player.
You know,
All right,
I'm,
that's all I got.
I'm glad to see Jason McCourty
Let me
go.
go through the full team, I guess. Very quickly.
Yeah, we all have Jason
quarterbacks.
McCourty.
Quarterbacks,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
Chandler Grant,
I
sorry.
have Fitzpatrick, Trey Lance, and then I have a signing Felipe Franks as UDFA. Running backs, Harris, Michelle, J.J. Taylor, and Javon Hawkins. Fullback, Johnson. Wide receivers, Edelman, Myers, Gunner, Davis, Curtis Samuel, Seth Williams, William Jackson, Dwayne Eskridge. Tight
Wait,
ends,
did you have us re-signing Edelman to like a smaller? Did you have us releasing him?
I didn't have us restructure. I probably could have restructured, but
Okay.
yeah, actually look to that. Look for Edelman to restructure his contract.
Or retire from
He
football.
would do that. He would do that. I think he's got one more year.
Really? Because he did nothing all of last season.
I think it's important.
Ah,
that I have
beginning of the
so
year,
many
he was
wide
good.
receivers.
That
He's
game
gonna-
against
he's
Seattle.
basically
He
our,
did one good game, and now he's
Just like
our
our whole
wide
team was
receiver.
good that one game, and then we died.
No, it wasn't. Our defense was shit
defense was
Well, our
terrible,
offense
yeah.
was good that game.
somehow.
Cam
No,
Newton balling.
is our-
It took about
Edelman's
2
our
weeks
wide
of
receiver
Patriots Cam game film for everybody to figure out his throwing mechanics. For
Yeah.
the Patriots,
Yeah.
and just he sucked for the entire season after
four,
that.
basically. Yeah, Edelman is my wide receiver 4 or 5, so he's not gonna be running that many routes. So
He's heading to
freaking
freaking Tampa. He's heading to freaking Tampa.
No,
I kinda
no,
hope
he wouldn't
I kinda
do
hope he does. Yes, he would.
No, he
Why
wouldn't.
wouldn't
He already said he's not. He said
Yes, he
Foxborough forever
would.
on his Instagram last year.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Tommy-
Until
Tommy
Belichick trades him
Foxborough
for a
too.
7th-round pick.
Yeah.
That's
He
the kind of
would
shit
probably do that
Belichick
too.
would do.
It's like,
I
sorry,
know.
man. It's all
That's-
business.
Dude, Belichick would 100% either release him, which he might do because he doesn't have a lot of value,
Yeah,
for
it's possible.
Or-
loyalty.
or trade him for like a 6th rounder to Miami or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Belichick-
Tight
Yeah,
ends.
Adam,
Cole,
Yeah, go ahead.
man.
Yes, sir. I have Gerald Everett, Ossie, who might actually have a pretty good year if we have a good quarterback, and Dalton Keene.
Oh, well then. better not-
Offensive line, I have
Nice.
Trent Brown at left tackle, Isaiah Wynn shifting into left guard, which is where he actually should be playing. David Andrews playing center, Shaq Mason at right guard, and then Michael Onwenu at right tackle.
That's a good ass line.
It's a great
Yeah.
offensive line. That's why I was originally, before we signed Trent Brown, I was still going to cut Marcus Cannon and then draft or sign Forrest Lamp. He's the left guard out of the Chargers.
Wait, Chandler, who's your starting line again?
Trent Brown, Isaiah Wynn, David Andrews, Shaq Mason, Michael Onwenu. That's a top.
Yeah,
three
that's
offensive
mine.
line in
That's
football.
mine too. Yeah, it's a good offensive line.
And,
Yeah. Am I missing somebody on that? Yeah, I think so. But
And then we have Ferenc, Kajust, and Huron, who I think is actually going to be pretty good after Brown leaves, most likely after his 1-year contract. Then defensive line, I have Winovich, Butler guy, Simon, Cowart as a depth guy, Tufele, and Ellison Smith being 2 rookies. The linebacking core, Uche, Hightower would be shifting Van Noy to start, and then Ibukam with Walker as a sub linebacker and Bentley there as well.
good. That's
The
some good
defensive backs are J.C. Jackson, Devin McCourty, Jonathan Jones, Joey Juan Williams, Chung, Duggar, Phillips, and then Javon Holland and Diamador Lenore.
So you have us
sorry.
cutting Miles Bryant? Oh.
What about Michael
Yeah, I
Jackson,
cut-
bro?
What did
I
he
cut him.
do? What did Michael Jackson do?
Shamoned on
He,
them.
he has done many things that you're not going to talk about in this podcast. There.
But
Oh,
wait a minute.
no.
The football player, he didn't do anything. I don't
That's
remember
true.
a single thing he did for the Patriots. At least Miles Bryant should have had a freaking pick
Who's
six.
that one
against
who had
Giants.
the interception that one game?
Miles Bryant.
Bryant. It should have been a pick
Oh.
six. It's just that they.
Well,
called
now he's
some
cut.
bullshit.
I'd send him down to the practice squad, actually.
Yeah,
And then
alright,
I guess
that's
the
fair.
most controversial one, my kicker, is
Oh no.
Justin Rohrhauser.
I think that's actually pretty likely. I mean, Folk's good, but he's
Yeah,
like
it's
39
probably
years
happened.
old.
Folk is
so-
going to get like.
Or that other guy who we got, the Buccaneers one.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Aguayo.
Aguayo. Yeah, he'll probably just hang
Yeah.
on the practice
I
squad.
dislike him. He's
We have
very
3
bad at
kickers,
football.
bro. What the hell?
One or two of them will be gone. Probably.
We
by
had
the start of the
last
season.
year we had
Aguayo
3
probably down
kickers
there.
and like 2 tight ends. How does that
Aguayo's
work?
going to go down to the practice squad, and I think Rohrhauser, Belichick, to his credit, I actually originally did have a re-signing Folk, but then I was just thinking about it, and I was like, wait a second, we once had Vinatieri, and you know who our backup kicker on the practice squad was? Robbie Gould. So Belichick clearly knows something about kickers that we don't. As much as we ragged on
guess.
Rohrhauser
Super centers.
the whole year, I'm giving him a year. If he gets cut week 5 because he's terrible, he gets cut week 5 because he's terrible. He's making $600,000 a year roughly.
How do you get drafted in the 5th round though? Like honestly, just
That
get
is
him.
an excellent question. When Hot Rod Rodrigo.
What did you do when
This
he
dude
was
better
actually?
be a Hall of Famer one
What
day.
did he
because
actually
us-
do when he was drafted, Chandler?
What do you mean?
Like
He ran to the tattoo store and got his racist tattoo removed or
Yeah.
whatever.
No, Chandler. What was your reaction? Like you're just watching the draft last year. You know, Patriots picked.
Oh, I was just like, why the hell are we drafting a 5th round kicker?
At first, I didn't even really care. I was just
Oh,
like,
you know,
oh yeah,
I-
it's
you know what I
actually
actually
great.
said?
happened. So
But I actually said, I was like, why are we drafting a 5th round kicker when Rodrigo Blankenship is still on the board? And look who was right about that. Well, we actually
Yeah.
don't know if Rohrhauser
Yeah.
is going to be any good, but Rodrigo
he did
Blankenship
miss some
is a
kicks in
very
the
good
playoffs. So.
kicker.
He did miss a terrible field goal in that
That was pretty
Bill
bad,
game.
yeah.
But yeah, he's a pretty good kicker.
I'm not out on him yet, though. Yeah, Buffalo's actually really hard.
I'm all in on Drew Brees coming out of retirement to play for the Patriots.
I would probably.
facts.
Oh, I would be so upset. I would be so upset.
Same.
Philip
Unless he's
Rivers.
there on
man.
a vet min. If he's there on a vet min, I'm all for it.
Philip Rivers.
Older and worse version. of
Please
Tom
do
Brady.
not sign Alex Smith. He's terrible. If we
Yeah,
sign
no,
Alex
I
Smith,
don't
I'm going to be really upset. He's
Yeah,
not
then
good.
punter Jake Bailey, special teamers Slater and Cardano. That's
People
my-
are, yeah. The Alex Smith thing is so annoying because people are all like, "Oh man, the Washington did him dirty." I'm like, dude, he sucks. Like, oh yeah, cool. Like he almost died.
He's not
I
that
know.
bad. He's better than Cam.
Is he? He threw
Okay.
6 touchdowns.
See, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
He's better than
6
Cam.
touchdowns, interceptions, and he had no mobility. I mean,
He
So
can
they
it's the same.
throw.
It's the same ratio as Cam. He had better
Sure,
receivers.
he can't really run, but he can throw
Listen, no, he can't.
He also did that in 7 games.
more than Cam.
6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I mean,
Yeah, in 6.
Hey, he played half the games Cam did.
okay, but his receivers were better. And
I mean,
he
other
and
than
he
Terry.
has no mobility, so you get rid of that
Terry didn't even
aspect.
hold up. Terry didn't even play in the game that they beat the Steelers.
Yeah, yeah.
They basically had the same receivers.
Alex Smith carrying.
No, he
6
didn't carry
touchdowns and
anyone.
8 picks is not
Antonio
good.
Gibson carried.
And he had no mobility, and his accuracy was so-so. I think actually it was pretty good. It was like 64%.
Well, but at least he can dissect the defense and throw the ball more than 10 yards. Give me Alex Smith over Cam Newton.
Facts.
I don't know on either of them. I would take.
They both suck. If
I don't
we get
even know.
either of them, I'm gonna be
Give me Henry
disappointed.
Burns.
I would
I'll
take
sign Henry
Brissett
Burns from
over
Colts.
either of them.
At least I would be
Cody
excited
Brissett.
that somebody from our high school is playing for the Patriots.
I keep seeing stuff also more Jimmy G stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I think he's
and
better.
I heard that that's the number one priority for the Patriots.
I
Yeah.
think he's better than any of the quarterbacks.
I
that we
agree.
could
I do
possibly
too,
sign.
but like, why put all this? And if we trade a first for him, I
Well,
swear.
no,
to God,
So what I've heard-
a third is
What I've
better.
heard is you're
I
gonna
don't know.
Give him
Bill is
Gilmore.
gonna do some crazy thing.
Give
Imagine
him
he trades a
Gilmore.
first next
I've
year
heard
for
you
him.
sent Gilmore and a 4 for
Jimmy G and-
Garoppolo and a 3.
I like that.
I wouldn't.
Gilmore's going to be out of here.
I'm still taking Fitzmagic.
I would take the 2 and the
Based
4
off
from the
the
Browns over that.
I would too
2
because
and a
that's
4
good.
is beautiful.
But they do need another corner though in San Francisco because
Yeah, well, they
Sherman,
need a
is,
lot of
God.
things.
Sherman is out.
Yeah, this is basically just like now this section of the episode is basically our reactions, just praying for things not to happen. And then
Yeah.
next episode when we come back, we're gonna be like, well,
Everything that we didn't want to
How
happen.
many firsts realistically would it take? Oh, I mean, I don't even know what the hell
Get Deshaun.
is he to get Deshaun. I mean, it seems
4.
like
4
you really
firsts
think if we
and-
offered 4, he would come. They would accept it.
Well, I don't think he's gonna play for us if we trade for him.
Unless we had already signed receivers, yeah. But
Yeah,
um,
I think that you could trade 3 firsts, Gilmore, and a second.
how many?
for who?
But- The Bears fans are starved for a
Rashaan.
quarterback, right? How many firsts could the Bears give up, and the Bear fans would be like, "That's okay." Could they give up 5 first-round picks, and the Bear fans would be like,
Oh,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
I don't think anyone can give up 5
Anything at this
first-round
point.
picks for a quarterback.
Can you give up would you give up 5 first-round picks for anything, Mahomes?
Mahomes, yeah, I'd give up 7
Mahomes,
first-round
and
picks.
that's probably about it.
But that
The
just
Rams-
screws your whole future. We saw
the
Mahomes
Rams-
isn't
the
invincible
Rams haven't
without a
picked the
team
first
he
round.
can't play.
The Rams haven't picked a first-round player in 5 years, and they're doing fine.
Would you give up the first? Would you give up
Yes.
Jacksonville? Would you give up the first for Deshaun? The first pick.
Oh,
That's a good question.
that is a good question. I would say yes because Deshaun's already established.
See,
I mean, it's an in-division rival, so I think it would be impossible, but
Yeah,
it would
definitely
still be.
not. Okay, can we also talk about how Sam Darnold would be the perfect quarterback for the Patriots?
I would like that, but I think he's going.
I would
never
like
gonna
that too,
happen.
but
It's never
not
gonna
going to
happen because
happen.
it-
If Mac Jones doesn't go to Washington, I think Sam Darnold is going to go.
Speaking of Sam Darnold, actually, I saw this thing on Instagram the other day. It was like, just hear me out. And it was that the Jets and the 49ers would meet in the Super Bowl and the Jets would win in 3 years with Sam Darnold at the helm.
For which team?
The Jets.
But he's gone. They're going to draft Wilson.
Yeah, he's out. They're definitely.
Yeah,
if
no,
they don't
see,
draft
this
Wilson-
guy said this
They don't
guy
draft
said they
Wilson, I would
trade
gladly
number
trade
2, I
3
think, to
first-round picks
the
get
49ers.
Oh, okay.
Let's be honest. So, okay, let's say, I know I'm the draft guy here, but let's say we get to 3. Or let's say I'm pick 3 and Zach Wilson's still on the board. Does Miami take Zach Wilson? Move on from
Oh, man.
Oh,
Man,
Ethan would be
these are the
so
big
sad.
questions.
I'm
These are
sorry,
big
but
questions.
Dolphins messed up.
I
Let's be
would.
honest. Okay,
They
I'm
messed
not
up.
completely out on Tua, on Tua,
Guys out on Tuna.
but
Too much great
But-
harvest for Stewart.
I didn't even make it today. But Justin Herbert is so much better than him.
Yeah.
They fucked up. They screwed up royally. I mean,
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't take too much credit.
There-
for that, but I
there's
did say
too much
that,
quarterback talent in the league right now. I'm just
yeah,
gonna say that.
I can't take too much credit for it, but I did say that Herbert was closer to Tua than Tua was to Burrow.
Well, it was true. Actually, it turns
I
out that
was-
Herbert was better than Burrow also. So
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Burrow's good. I think he's really solid. But Herbert's just incredible. But
I think he's going to come back really strong.
I think
Herbert
both of
or
them are
Trevor
gonna be
Lawrence?
Great.
Herbert or
Like,
Trevor?
like next year or after? It's in general.
in general, probably Trevor. But it's still tough.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Herbert's
but I don't know
I have
enough
to go.
about Trevor. That's the
I have to
thing.
go. Dude, Trevor's been the first overall pick for literally like 9 years.
Yeah, I know. Since he was like 18.
Ridiculous. They were
Yeah.
talking. There was like a
Wow.
legitimate conversation to change the draft rules so that he could come
Yeah,
out of
I remember everybody was all on him after they won the national championship. From then on, it was Trevor Mania, and it was still 2
Imagine
years
that
away,
much
but
pressure being put on you. Like, damn.
He's gonna
He was the
succeed.
nut-
Look
he
at
was-
him.
he was the-
He's like built like a Greek god.
He's sunshine. He's
he's-
sunshine
he's-
for the Titans.
He's the perfect
Hercules
freaking
himself.
quarterback. He's the perfect. Yeah, I mean,
He
he's
is-
just the perfect prospect.
He is Andrew Luck.
And he has
just
to go play in
better.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, he has to go
Damn.
play in Jack.
Oh
London.
no.
Fun.
But no,
London
think
in
about
2 years.
something I noticed is that a couple of years there, I think, from about 2013 to 2016, or even 17, there was a real lull there in the quarterback talent that was
Yeah.
coming into the league. I mean,
Now it's all
2013, I don't even know who the hell was drafted that year. The quarterbacks.
EJ Manuel.
Yeah, right. Geno Smith, I think, was that year.
Yeah.
And they don't. It was terrible.
Oh.
2014, there's Teddy Bridgewater, Johnny Manziel,
Johnny football.
L's
2015,
nonstop.
Jameis and Marcus Mariota went back to back.
God.
Yep.
Neither of
Both
them are starters,
backfired.
and they're on different
Goff
teams.
and Wentz and
Goff and Wentz, both on new teams.
Dak.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky in 2017, but finally that's when Mahomes and Watson came to the
Watson,
league.
yeah.
Is when
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Deshaun Kaiser.
But that's the turnaround there. I mean, now
Yeah.
we have so many good these young quarterbacks. Well, he's not super young now, but think about like Mahomes, Lamar, Deshaun, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Zach
Also, can we
Wilson.
talk about
I mean,
how Lamar
crazy.
Jackson's younger than Joe Burrow?
Oh yeah,
about that?
Joe Burrow's like 25
Oh, yeah.
years
Yeah,
old.
he's 23.
Yeah.
Lamar's 22, I believe.
Wow.
Absurd. Or Joe Burrow's 24. Lamar's 23. That's what it is.
Wow, that's Lamar's like 23. That's crazy. He's already a whole
Absurd.
year removed from an MVP. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Wow.
weird. People kind of sleeping on him a little bit, but yeah.
a little bit.
Sleep on
He's
him.
probably gonna get the bag this offseason.
I heard they're not going to pursue a wide receiver.
I know.
Yeah, what?
As somebody
Why?
who really
Crazy?
dislikes John Harbaugh, I am all for it.
They are. I know they like to run the ball, and I think they should. But I mean, you got to give. You got to give at least some adequate help. Really, I mean, Mark Andrews is like only effective in the red zone, and then they freaking have Willie Snead, wide receiver.
If no one, Des Bryant,
they can try to bring back John Brown. They can,
right?
I do expect
Hollywood
them to be in.
Imagine they trade a first-round pick for Nikhil Harry.
Don't even say that.
I mean, they might trade for him.
They might trade for him. They might give us a fifth.
We give them.
Imagine we get a fourth rounder for him. That would be the rob of the century, right there.
We give them a fifth and him. They can have it.
Scared of him.
What about Demir Bird? He's out.
Yeah,
I thought about bringing him back, but I had a lot of.
So the only receiver that should be carrying over. Well, I had Edelman leaving, but is Myers.
Probably Myers, yeah.
Yeah.
And Gunner.
He's more of a special teamer, but
yeah. Jacoby Myers for sure.
I liked Bird. I thought he had a good season, but the thing is, this wide receiver class is just too deep. Like, why would you keep Bird?
Well, but what if you strike out? Then he's got to come back.
If you strike out,
if you strike out, sure.
Then
we're going to strike out both. You already
we ask for Belichick's head at that point.
This is what's going to happen.
There's so many wide receivers.
John Ross.
I say we, as in me.
John Ross.
Wait, did you see Tom Curran's questions for Bill? Like, he hasn't spoken publicly since like January 7th. Tom Curran has like a set of like questions laid out to just friggin' roast this team.
Do you have them in front of you?
Yeah, let me pull them up. Actually, they're on the NBC.
That's be the last thing we talk about.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good way to end it.
But it's after Tom won the Super Bowl, I think he's just in hiding.
I would too. I was a terrible general manager, which I'm not.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Why are we doing? Why is this happening? You see, I would be so much more excited about all of this if we just had Tom Brady on our team.
Yes.
Imagine if we had $66 million and Tom Brady. Oh no,
we could have. Belichick.
We would be winning Super Bowls for 20 years. Brady would be out there with a cane at 60 years old, throwing with one hand, holding the cane with the other.
Yeah, and it looks like Tampa Bay is going to retain a lot of these players. I mean, I can't believe they got Levante David for
that cheap. Oh my God! They're turning into the Patriots. Everybody takes pay cuts just to stay with the team.
Antonio Brown's going to stay for $1.5 million. Gronk's the same, and then all they got to do is resign Shaq Barrett. I think Sue might leave. I think that's the only piece that they're going to lose.
I think Gronk's going to ask for money. That's the thing.
No, why would he? He said he doesn't want to catch passes from anybody other than Tom. So it's either
he's never been a free.
So he'll retire, I guess.
No, he'll just sign for
another ring.
He'll just sign for whatever. He'll sign for. I mean, his minimum based on his 10
years
prerequisites is probably pretty good. So, and he plays in Tampa. He's got hell endorsements. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, true. All right, ready for these questions?
I'm so ready.
A good one to start off. Ready?
What do you want?
His first question. Bill, did you misjudge Brady's ability to continue playing at a high level?
That's hard.
Imagine, how's he going to respond to that?
He's going to say, well, the thing is that I never, he's going to say, well, I'm not going to even use the ball.
Run of the draft.
He's going to say, no, he'll say something like, we never questioned Tom's ability. We just thought that it was best for us to go our separate ways and we couldn't.
He built a good football team. He had COVID-19.
I will say this, if he was still in the Patriots right now, which I think he honestly could have come back despite all the bullshit.
We still wouldn't have won the Super Bowl.
No, but his salary would be eating into this cap.
Team.
His salary would be eating into this cap significantly.
Yeah, that's true.
So
probably about $30 million off of it. We'd still have $30 million to get.
Yeah, we still have enough to get him some.
Then, knowing what you do now, would you have done things differently with Brady after trading Garoppolo?
It's all
another shot.
That's a major shot because there's nothing that's actually neither of them ever said anything the relationship was really difficult. It's just been insinuated in the media, which is true. But if Belichick answers that, he's confirming that the two of them had beef, basically.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
What is your plan for the QB position? Robert, are you comfortable with that plan?
Oh, is he going to be there too? No, he can't. He's senile now. He can't be there. He probably still thinks Tom's a quarterback.
I'm so excited for Drew Bledsoe this year.
He probably thought when he probably was when
By the way, did you see we donated masks on the Patriots plane?
He was probably trying to. He was
Jacoby.
He was trying to book a flight to Tampa because he was like, oh no, we won the Super Bowl, but I need to give a speech, but because he thought that
I missed it.
When the Buccaneers won, he thought
Timmy Brady, please forgive me.
He was like, why did we change our jersey to red and white? What happened to the blue? He was really confused. It's okay. It'll probably be
And then-
there.
Oh, there's some nice retros here.
All right. Are you concerned that without a starting QB in place, free agents won't want to sign here?
I mean, that's just
blatantly true. It's just we're like
whoever wants to come here. This is the Patriot way.
okay. And then this one's more simple. What are your priority positions to address in free agency? And then are you entertaining offers for Stephon Gilmore? Would you extend him?
That is never a question that
offers
no
for every
Belichick will
player.
answer. He would
just be like, well, think about it.
Has Belichick ever answered a question like that? Ever? Like, what do you think about this player's future? Like, I don't think so. No. So I don't.
Oh, they get worse. They get worse. How much patience remains for the development of Stidham and Nikhil Harry?
None.
Possibly
I would
none,
say
because
none
they're
for
gone.
both. I think
by the time that
what would he
they're
say
gone.
to that? What would he say? He'd say, well, we're just evaluating. He gives some one note.
Like, how would he respond?
We're just evaluating their talent level as a junction to the current team, and we'll make the decision when the roster cuts come, and I'll let you know. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Thanks,
they'll
Bill.
cut, hopefully.
By the time
Okay.
that Belichick enters the media again, I really hope that neither of them are on the team.
Well, I hope. I mean, he's going to be getting slandered the next time he comes to the mic. All right, two more. Robert, does Bill have a lifetime appointment as head coach?
Well, you think the Patriots?
He's probably gonna say, like,
a lot of football left.
He's gonna say, well, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach in New England history, and we will keep him around as long as we need, or something like that. And then that's good.
All right, and then the last question is for Robert Kraft again. He's just going after the old man on this one.
No,
Robert.
he's not even gonna be there, dude. He's too old. They'll just have Jonathan Kraft there.
Suspend disbelief. I want to hear this.
All right, Robert, should the franchise be more transparent as it rebuilds? Are you worried about fan attention?
Yeah, that's
They
stupid.
should be.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still gonna.
I don't know. We are
Hardcores are
Patriots
never gonna
Nation.
Bill Simmons came up with this good idea where it's like if a team wins the Super Bowl, they got that 5-year grace period where they can do stuff. They can make some questionable decisions. Usually, it's like it's okay. The fans aren't gonna freak out even if it's 2 years later. Sometimes
I'm
it messes
freaking
up.
out. I've been freaking out since Brady left.
Okay, well,
We have high expectations.
fair weather fan. No, this is the thing. This is never going to happen again. The best is behind us for the rest of our lives. This will never, ever happen again. So lower your expectations with this team.
Statistically, we'll probably never win another ring.
Not in the next 10 years. It's very unlikely.
Not in any of our lifetimes.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
we
Damn,
don't
that's
know. We don't
harsh.
know that. But I mean,
Next thing you
Yeah,
know,
that's
10 years down the line, we just sell them. They're just the I don't know, the
Hartford.
Connecticut Patriots.
St. Louis Patriots. That almost happened. So.
the London Patriots.
Oh,
You'd imagine
that's
no.
the worst. That's the worst oxymoron
Yeah, I
ever.
No, but I mean, there's 32 teams in the NFL. Probably within the next 20 years, there'll probably be at least 36. It's gonna be.
God.
It's hard. There are people who go their entire lifetime without even seeing a single Super Bowl appearance.
Well,
We've had like 10.
No, it's not just a few now. What teams have not made Super Bowl appearances? 4.
Lions,
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville, the
Detroit,
Lions,
Detroit, Cleveland, and
Titans.
Houston.
Titans did.
Houston. So,
Yeah.
and 2 of those teams came from the 90s. So it's really only if you're
one came from 2000.
if you're a Browns, yeah, right. If you're a Browns or Detroit fan, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean Cleveland's pretty good right now. So
Great fan.
what if
Yeah.
they trade? What if they
I'm
trade?
so sorry.
What if they trade Odell to Tampa Bay?
I'm so sorry.
Brady said, "I want Odell."
Imagine
he's
if that
he's a
actually
5.
happened, right?
Rob Gronkowski threatened to retire instead of playing for the Lions.
Let's just entertain this. Imagine that for a second. Odell, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown.
Well, they're probably not going to be able to bring back AB if they do get OBJ.
Why? I mean,
AB will sign for league
right now,
minimum to
I
do
think,
that.
Yeah, I think AB
Not
is going to
enough
sign.
wide receivers. You can't.
They'll
play
cut
6
Scotty
wide
Miller,
receivers.
rip Scotty Miller.
They bring Scotty Miller to New England.
They keep
I don't
Scotty
take
Miller.
him.
And then they just
Yeah, then
trade the
he would be
rest.
their wide receiver 6. Imagine
5.
that. Like, how lucky can you be?
Dude, I think I have a really good wide receiver core. My wide receiver 6 is.
I want that to
it's
happen.
Gunner. It's
I
Gunner.
want that to happen. I want Odell to go to the Bucks. I think that'd be
I
hilarious.
don't.
I
I think it'd be
don't.
hilarious.
Why do you want these things?
Why
It's
not?
just-
It'd be great.
This
I
is
mean,
it's gonna make us look worse. Like, oh
I
wow,
want him to
Bill,
go
if only
to,
you paid Brady an extra $5 million,
I
would
want
have been
him to go
succeeding.
To the Packers. I don't know.
the Packers. Ooh, Odell's got to
Really?
figure this out. He's immensely talented, but he needs to. Just,
Odell.
They
It's
got
not
better.
even-
Hey, maybe he will come to the Patriots because he was training with Cam Edelman. Bird, and Sanu last offseason.
All the players who will probably not be on our team next year.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
Wherever Cam
Edelman's
goes.
going to be the only one remaining with the OG squad.
Oh,
Maybe he
God,
returns
I
to the
saw
division.
somebody-
Then he heads to Washington.
Last thing.
Ooh.
I heard somebody try to say that Cam Newton's going to be the 49ers quarterback next year.
Ah!
Good.
If Kyle Shanahan could make him a playoff quarterback, I think that Kyle Shanahan might be the greatest offensive
Wait a minute. How about
coach of
this?
all time.
Matt Ryan reunited with him in San Francisco. I like that.
Matt
actually.
Ryan has like an $8 billion cap.
Apparently, I saw something they can trade him next season.
It's next season, not this season.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's
$7
what-
Should we
billion
take
next season.
good old Matt?
I'd take him.
Matt, come
20
home to Boston?
20? He's not actually from Boston, but he did go to college here.
I would take him
From
if
Ohio.
we didn't have to give up that much to get him.
Yeah.
Even a big contract.
5th round pick?
I would gladly do that.
All right. Anyway, a week from today is when free agency starts. Expect an episode after that, and like 3 days after that, or something like that. We'll give it some time to kind of pan out. But this is looking to be one of the most exciting off seasons in a long time. Free agency is going to be great, and then the draft is unpredictable as always. So stick with us because we have a lot of things to cover coming
So
here.
much fun.
Stuart does not want to be here anymore. Okay, Eric Bledsoe, we'll let you go. All right, so from the Nosebleeds podcast, my name is Nick Antonakis, along with Chandler Betts and Stuart Brooks. We'll see you back here next week or sometime in the near future when the offseason goes underway. All right, we'll see you soon, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.